He was handsome, intelligent, and had a smile that disarmed even the most cautious strangers. But behind that smile was a darkness so twisted, it stunned America. This is the chilling story of Ted Bundy, the man who could talk his way into your trust, and then take your life. Stay until the end, because the way Bundy's life ends is almost impossible to believe, and it left a crowd cheering. Theodore Robert Bundy was born in 1946, Burlington, Vermont. Raised believing his grandparents were his parents, and that his mother was his sister. His childhood began with secrets and lies. To everyone else, Bundy was polite, ambitious, and charming. He studied psychology, volunteered at a crisis hotline, and dreamed of a career in politics. But beneath that smooth exterior were disturbing signs: theft, manipulation, and an obsessive need for control. By 1974, young women began vanishing across Washington and Oregon. Witnesses described a man named Ted, sometimes in a sling or on crutches, asking for help with his car. His injury, a clever trap. Once the victim was close enough, the mask came off. Bundy's Volkswagen became his mobile prison. And yet, even after police released a composite sketch, his friends, even his girlfriend, refused to believe he could be a killer. In 1975, a traffic stop changed everything. Inside Bundy's car, police found burglary tools, masks, and rope, enough to raise suspicions, but not enough for murder charges. Then came the unbelievable part. Bundy escaped custody twice. First, by jumping out of a courthouse window. The second time, in December 1977, he crawled through a hole in his prison ceiling, changed into civilian clothes, and simply walked out the front door. Bundy fled to Florida. On January 15, 1978, he entered the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. In just 15 minutes, 2 women were dead. 2 more were brutally beaten. Weeks later, he abducted and murdered 12-year-old Kimberly Leach. The country was in shock. But Bundy's freedom ended on February 15, 1978, when a traffic stop finally brought him down. Bundy's trial was the first in U.S. history to be broadcast on national television. He played the role of his own lawyer, cross-examining witnesses and smiling for the cameras. At one point, he proposed marriage, in the middle of court. But the evidence was undeniable. He was sentenced to death for the Florida murders. Before his execution, Bundy confessed to over 30 killings, but investigators believe the real number was far higher. January 24, 1989. Outside Florida State Prison, crowds chanted, "Burn, Bundy, burn." Inside, Ted Bundy sat in the electric chair. Moments later, it was over. Bundy's story is a haunting reminder that evil doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes, it smiles at you, shakes your hand, and asks for help carrying groceries.